Hello everyone, this is Tarek, and today I am bringing you a picture of Shaun of the Dead, specifically Shaun from Shaun of the Dead. And in case you haven't seen the movie, Shaun is the main character, and Shaun of the Dead is a romantic comedy zombie movie. Um, if this is the first time you're hearing this, you may think romantic comedy zombie movie, that just doesn't sound right. How can romantic comedy and zombie movie be fused together to make a good movie, Tarek? And I will just answer by, in most cases, it probably can, but the way that this movie was put together, it is flawless. It's an incredible movie, directed by Edgar Wright, who is a great director. I really like his style. If you've seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World, it came out last year. I know it has a bit of a following now. He directed that one as well, so if you like Scott Pilgrim and you haven't seen Shaun of the Dead, you should watch it. Because I know a lot of people who actually haven't seen Shaun of the Dead, so go out and watch it. It's a great movie. Stars Simon Pegg. He also helped with the writing of it, and he plays Shaun. And it also has Nick Frost and Kate Ashfield, among other notable stars. But as far as this picture goes, for most of my other works that you guys can see on the YouTube channel, I've tended to stick to more of a cartoony or comic book approach to the pictures. And even though I like that style and I really enjoy it and it's very expressive, I actually want to try working more on my realism or realistic pictures. So I decided to just tackle this picture and with a more realistic approach. Granted, this isn't, like 100% like a perfect photocopy of Shaun from Shaun of the Dead. It is a great step forward for me as far as realistic pictures go, because I tend to not draw them very much, and my, my attitude has mainly been that I don't want to spend the time trying to recreate something. But in recent weeks, I've learned that that's another side to art, and if I want to grow as an artist, I should definitely try to do that. So this drawing took me about 3.5 hours, and a lot of it was spent detailing his face, which I just finished for the most part. Actually, I'm going to be fixing it up a little bit soon. And with his face, I mainly used the 5H pencil. And if you don't know about pencils, or I should be more specific, hopefully you know what a pencil is, but if you don't know about the different grading for pencils, pencils are graded based on their darkness. And the scale, I believe, goes from 6H to 6B, and 6H is very, very light, and 6B is very, very dark, and it meets in the middle at HB, and that's your common everyday number 2 HB pencil. So, in case you've ever wondered what HB stands for, that's what it is. It's just the median darkness. And on his face, I used 5H. I would have used 6H, but I lost that pencil because I tend to lose a lot of things. So I used a 5H, and you see on there that even though I used a 5H, there's a lot of different degrees of shading. And when you're shading with a pencil, whatever pencil you use, the pencil's going to have its own spectrum of light and dark and everything in between. What you have to do to achieve the full potential of that is learn how to pressurize or place the exact amount or the right amount of pressure on the paper with the pencil. If you press more, it'll be darker. If you press less, it'll be lighter. And also the angle of which you hold the pencil can totally affect that too. If you draw straight down, it's going to be darker, but if you hold the pencil at a very steep angle, you can get a very different effect, much lighter. So on his face, I used a 5H and I varied the shading. So it's something that only comes through practice, and I haven't even mastered it yet. You have to, it's basically trial and error. You gotta try shading and see how it turns out, if you like it, if you don't like it, and then from there you could determine what more you have to do and what less you have to do. So what I did is I shaded his face with a 5H pencil, and his facial hair, which is a little dark, I think I lightened it up a little bit. I may have used a darker setting, maybe 2H. For the blood on his shirt, I actually started out with 3H, which is a lighter, darker setting than his face, because I wanted the blood to be distinct. But as you see right here, I actually made it darker because I wanted it to make it distinct from the actual shading on his shirt. So that's where that came from, and I smeared the markings that I made for the blood with my finger. I think you can actually get something to smear pencil marks, but I have no excuse for not having it. I'm just lazy and I haven't gone out and getting one of those. And using a finger is very easy for me. Finger has oil, finger naturally has oil in it, so that works in shading, in smearing, I should say. For his cricket bat, as you see right there, I probably used a 2H or 3H and did the same thing. You used different degrees of pressure, made sure that I got the natural grainy feel of it. And then at the very end, what I did is I erased a lot of the dark outlines on his body. There you can see the final picture. Again, it's not perfect, but for myself, it's a great leap forward. And hopefully it's the first step in many to drawing the ultimately realistic picture. So I hope you guys like that, and watch the rest of these videos, and make sure you subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys soon.